Good evening, America. Unless you're watching from California, then maybe not so good. Just kidding. Sort of, it's your favorite president, some say the best ever. And tonight, I've got a few things to say. So grab your popcorn, turn off the fake news, and let's talk about what's really going on. It's going to be good, really good.
In 2017, Zohran Mamdani released a rap track that praised 5 convicted Hamas funders known as the Holy Land Five. Now he wants to run New York? Mamdani says, look him up. So we did. These 5 men were convicted of funneling over $12 million to Hamas, a U.S. designated terrorist organization responsible for the murder, rape, and kidnapping of civilians, including Americans. Mamdani sent his love to convicted Hamas funders. Let that sink in. No ban, no wall, build it up, we'll make it fall. Mamdani says, no wall will make it fall. That's an open door for criminals and chaos. Zohran Mamdani stands with convicted terrorist funders and wants open borders. This is New York City, not a sanctuary for terrorists. Zohran Mamdani, unfit, un-American, unthinkable.
All right, Mamdani may be getting deported. It's early, but today is huge. Rep. Ogles from Tennessee just submitted a letter to Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of the United States, asking that they formally open an investigation into Mamdani for his vocal support of the Holy Land Five, which was connected to the Holy Land Foundation, which was convicted in the U.S. for material support to Hamas. The key point is this happened before Mamdani was a citizen, meaning that when he signed his applications to become a U.S. citizen just a few years ago, he lied. He literally said, those are my guys, in a music video because this never had a real job until he's 29 because his parents are millionaire Marxists. Anyway, but that's besides the point. This is huge. It doesn't mean that anything is going to happen. Obviously, there needs to be an investigation into this, and I'm just thrilled that we have an attorney general like Pam Bondi who actually will look into this. She has not been taking from the terrorist supporters that are not U.S. citizens or that lied on their green card to become a U.S. citizen. If Zohran's failed rap career ends up being the thing that gets him kicked off the ballot, I will personally pay for his flights back to Uganda, where he's originally from, because he's only been an American for like 5 minutes. But yeah, let's let him run New York. What could go wrong? In his letter, the representative also cited the recent interview where Mamdani refused to condemn the term globalize the Intifada, something he's chanted many times, which directly means to kill Jews. That's what it means, and anybody who tells you otherwise is lying to you or an idiot. So if you don't have a problem with people chanting death to the Jews, it wouldn't be shocking if you're working with terrorists who were trying to cause death to the Jews. Obviously, this would funnel through the courts, but this is huge. Let's see if this happens. Could just be a pipe dream. Don't open your champagne yet. Jews and those who don't think socialism is a good idea, considering it's killed about 100 million people in this century alone, and will completely destroy the biggest economy in America, but who cares? Right? Literally, who cares? Forget all that. Stay tuned.
President Trump just weighed in and called you a communist lunatic. What do you say to that?
And unlike the current mayor, I'm not going to be working alongside the Trump administration to build the single largest deportation force in American history.
Flashback.
All right, the president's border czar, Tomhoman, joins us tonight. And, sir, it's good to see you again. I want to play it back just one more time so people can see the run-in that you had with Zohran Mamdani when you came to New York back in March. It was kind of the stunt that put this man on the map. And last night he promised to stop ICE agents from detaining illegals in New York City if he's mayor of this city. Let's play that.
Where the mayor will use their power to reject Donald Trump's fascism. To stop mass ICE agents from deporting our neighbors.
So he's going to stop you fascists from arresting illegal immigrants in the city, he says. What do you say to that, sir?
No good luck with that. I mean, as a matter of fact, the president made it clear we're going to double down and triple down sanctuary cities. And why is that? It isn't to attack blue cities. It's because they're sanctuary city. We know for a fact they're releasing public safety threats and national security threats back to the streets every day because they won't work with us. So where do we know there's a problem? We know there's a problem in New York. So we're going to send more resources to New York. We're going to send more officers to flood the zone in the neighborhoods. And if we can't find them in the neighborhood, then we'll go to work sites. We'll flood the zone in work site. We'll increase work site by tenfold. He's not going to stop us. I mean, federal law trumps him every time. And look, if he wants to shut down an ICE detention facility in New York, fine. We'll put him on an airplane. We'll detain him someplace else. If he wants to remove these people away from their families and their attorneys, so be it. You know, what he needs to understand is ICE agents aren't making this up. They're enforcing the laws enacted by Congress. As a legislator, he should understand that. And we're out there looking for final order cases that a federal judge has ordered removed and wants ICE to execute their order or removal. We're not making this up. We're doing exactly what Congress wants us to do, what we're appropriated funding to do, and what a judge is directing us to do. So he can hate on us all we want, but we're not walking away from New York City. We're going to double down and triple down in New York.
A lot of people in New York are happy to hear that.
I'm going to actually represent each and every New Yorker, and that includes immigrant New Yorkers.
What?
Sean, right now there are 157 hotels in New York City that are completely full of illegal immigrants. Let me just repeat that number. 150 hotels in New York City that are completely full of illegal immigrants. New York City alone spends over $1 billion a year on illegal immigrants. And then you see these pictures of husbands and wives and children who have lost everything. Their homes have floated down rivers. Their homes have been taken out by mudslides. Their vehicles are gone. Their picture albums are destroyed. Every sentimental value that they could ever possibly imagine is gone. You know, will never be brought back. And what does Kamala do? She comes out and offers $750. $750. The TV in the person's house costs more than $750, and you see the absolute destruction. Sean, of all the political things that I've seen in the last decade, this is the one that bothers me the most. Hands down, by far. We have spent $200 billion sending money over to Ukraine and Russia to see young, innocent 21-year-old kids in dirty trenches pop around corners and shoot each other in the face with AK-47s. You watch these videos on YouTube, the lives are expunged in a matter of seconds. $200 billion America has sent over there. Yet we can't take care of our own in Georgia and North Carolina and Virginia and Florida. $750. We send billions to places like Pakistan. And they won't tell us that bin Laden is literally living next to their equivalent of West Point. Yet we offer devastated families, the very people you're showing on the screen right now, we offer devastated families $750. Sean, this is the worst administration in the history of the country. These aren't serious people. Frankly, I think they're cruel people. The way they put Americans last is absolutely cruel. And I hope every single person going to the polls on November 5th and before in early voting will remember exactly who these people are.
Meanwhile, and that means standing up for the laws of this city, like our sanctuary city policies, which have kept New Yorkers safe for decades.
What?
Just a little less than 1 month ago, police officers from the 52nd Precinct were on the hunt for the suspect that they say is responsible for a triple shooting that killed 2 people and injured another. We are now learning from law enforcement sources that the suspect responsible is named Kiever Silva Jimenez, and he's 17 years old. Back on May 24th, 3 people were shot at 2290 Davidson Avenue. Police say a man and a woman died at St. Barnabas Hospital after they were both shot in the chest. Another man was hit in the arm. The victims were later identified as 36-year-old Justin Lawless and 44-year-old Claritha Daniels. News 12 first reported that the suspect fled the scene on a moped, and witnesses told us that they heard around 10 shots. We are now learning that the suspect connected to this double homicide came to the United States last May. and he is a migrant from Venezuela who crossed the border through Texas.
I'm going to actually represent each and every New Yorker, and that includes immigrant New Yorkers.
You know, the migrant crisis is one of the worst things I've seen in my lifetime. First of all, it's a fraud on the American people and the people of Staten Island. You know, almost 2 years ago when this thing started, we said the policy was going to be unsustainable. There were those who welcomed the migrants in Midtown with champagne glasses, and we said this was going to basically be unfair to taxpayers, not to mention law-abiding citizens and those who want to come to this country legally. And sure enough, in less than 2 years, we're up to $12 billion price tag, the city of New York. And the migrants, per migrant is about $150,000 per migrant per year. That's twice the median household income of the United States. And meanwhile, we still have folks in Washington that say there's no problem at the border. Well, we are paying the price. We're paying the price heavily. It continues to be unsustainable. And until there are policy differences that are made at the border, unfortunately, law-abiding, tax-paying citizens will have to absorb this, and it's just not fair or right to them.
I wouldn't poo-poo this illegal immigration issue. I think people are very upset about it.
I'm not doing that. Just to be clear, I'm not doing that. I was just saying that the issue for Eric Adams that is very important is his legal fate. That's
but
his
most serious governing issue is that there are roughly 760,000 illegal immigrants living in New York City, and almost 60,000 of them have criminal charges or are convicted criminals. If I were the mayor of New York City, whether I had my own personal political problems or not, I would be desperate to work with the President of the United States to clean up what's going on. Earlier this year, there was a police report that 3/4 of the people being arrested in Midtown were for violent crimes and attacks on the street were illegal immigrants. This is a local governance problem. My assumption is, I don't live here, I'm here a lot, that the people of New York City are hopping mad about it. And whether Eric Adams is using this to get political favor with Trump, I don't know. But my God, you're the mayor. Somebody needs to do something.
I think there's two different. It means that the NYPD would actually serve New Yorkers and not assist ICE in their operations. We recently saw ICE agents.
So they would not assist ICE?
Not assisting ICE, because ultimately their job is public safety.
What?
Flashback.
We recently saw ICE agents.
So they would not assist ICE?
Not assisting ICE, because ultimately their job is public safety.
Oh, bro. Yo. Oh, no. Yo. Sorry to his family. This is a person right here. Yo.
Good job, guys.
Mayor candidate, he hasn't won yet, but he won the Democratic primary, ZOHRAN MAMDANI. So he's saying, I mean, this is incredible. He's vowed to kick the, quote, fascist ICE out of New York City, okay? So how do you intend to deal with that? Because I would guess there are going to be a lot of criminals and Iranian cells and whatnot in New York City. The job's not done there. What do you say to this guy?
Good luck with that. Federal law trumps him every day, every hour, every minute. We're going to be in New York City. Matter of fact, because it's a sanctuary city, President Trump made it clear a week and a half ago. We're going to double down and triple down on sanctuary city. If we can't arrest a bad guy in a county jail, one agent arresting one bad guy, they release him in the streets like New York does every day. We got to send a whole team to look for this guy. And not only that, we're going to send additional teams to look for all the people they arrest. We're going to concentrate in sanctuary cities because we know they're releasing public safety threats and national security threats back to the street. So we know we got a problem there. So we don't have that problem in Florida where most sheriffs work for us. So we're going to double up and triple up on New York. And not only are we going to send more agents to the neighborhood, we're going to increase worksite enforcement tenfold. If we can't arrest them in the jail, you're going to force them in the neighborhood, then we'll find them in the neighborhood. If we can't find them in the neighborhood, we'll find them at the worksite. So game on. We're coming.
Zohran, you denounce Hamas?
Yes.
You denounce Hamas?
Yes.
You say it publicly, you say it?
Yes, I'm saying it right now.
Hezbollah?
Yes.
Or you say it here?
Yes.
And Sharia law?
What does Sharia law have to do with this? Yes.
You denounce it, though. I'm asking you.
I am running to be the mayor of New
I know,
York
but
City.
that's the point. If you're going to run for mayor, you have to denounce it. Do you denounce that?
What
stuff?
is Sharia law?
I'm asking you, do you denounce Sharia law? Do you denounce Hezbollah?
Yes,
Do you
I just
denounce
told you.
Hamas?
Yes,
You stand with the Constitution?
Yes, and
Right.
especially the First Amendment.
All right.
Thank you,
We're
sir.
going to be following you. And I hope you're not lying, because we're going to watch you.
I
hope you're not
forward to it.
lying.
I look forward
Do
to it.
not lie.
I wouldn't.
I didn't come into office with a personal agenda. Yes, sir. I came with a personal mission. To fight for working class New Yorkers, people who work up at 5 a.m. and do double and triple jobs like my mother did.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams officially rolling out his re-election bid moments ago. The former Democrat running now as an independent, taking on State Assemblyman Zohran Mamdani.
Zohran Mamdani was a little-known state lawmaker until recently. Now he's beaten nearly a dozen challengers, including former Governor Andrew Cuomo.
This morning, Zohran Mamdani calling for a new generation of leaders. His campaign laser focused on making New York more affordable, a strategy he tells me could be a blueprint for Democrats.
I think there's a question of how we return back to what made so many of us proud to be Democrats.
How do you do that?
And I think it's that focus on an economic agenda.
Mr. Mayor, it's not just defund the police, this candidate, Democratic Socialist. He wants to freeze the rent. He wants city-run grocery stores, social workers to replace the police, because that's going to help. He wants $60 billion of debt fund for affordable housing. He wants free buses, no cost for childcare, baby baskets for newborn, and a $30 minimum wage. How can someone vote for this?
He's a snake oil salesman. He will say and do anything to get elected. Think about this for a moment. He wants to raise 1%. He wants to raise tax on 1% of New Yorkers' high-income earners. As the mayor, you don't have the authority to do that. You know who has the authority to do that? An assemblyman, which he is. He wants to do free buses. He could have done it at assemblyman. He doesn't understand the power of government and how you must making sure you improve your economy, raise the standard of living, and this is what we've done in the city. And I'm looking forward to being on the campaign trail and showing New Yorkers we can't go backwards. And New Yorkers never surrender or quit. I'm never going to quit for the city that I love.
That is so interesting. You're in the position, so you know you don't have the authority to do that. Yet he's running on all these promises he's not going to be able to fulfill. And
he campaigns on freezing rents, making buses free, and opening city-run supermarkets, telling voters he will pay for his agenda by raising taxes on wealthy and corporations. But that would certainly face major challenges getting approval in the state legislature.
50 Cent had the following to say, quoting here, "Where did he come from? Whose friend is this? I'm not feeling this plan. No, I will give him $258,750 and a first-class one-way ticket away from New York. I'm telling Trump what he said, too." I mean, the whole idea behind this guy is you take from the rich, you give it to the poor, you legalize drugs, and everybody's happy because we keep giving stuff away, Link.
I'm glad 50 Cent, the rapper, is the one calling Zohran Mamdani out because he is a rags to riches story. He's an entrepreneur. He's built businesses, hit TV shows, hit albums. Zohran Mamdani has done absolutely nothing. He just went around on TikTok promising these young people free this, free that, free transgender surgeries, $65 million here and there. Zohran Mamdani has no plan to get anything done. He's never governed. And for my generation, I'm going to say this to my generation. Stop being lazy. Stop being whiny victims. Go get jobs. Why do you need everything for free all the time? You're going to vote for someone because they promise you free everything. Go to work, stop majoring in queer theater, and maybe you can get a job.
Yeah, you know, who said it? When you elect money from the Treasury, that's the end of democracy. Natalie, Link, thank you both.
Thanks, Ray.
And this morning, he's also facing questions about his own experience at just 33 years old with only 5 years in the state assembly.
And the experience that I show in this moment is to be able to meet the crisis that New Yorkers are facing and deliver them a new kind of city, one that is unencumbered by the old ways.
In November, he'll face New York City Mayor Eric Adams.
He's a snake oil salesman. He will say and do anything to get elected.
I
I actually created a playlist for Mira, who also happens to be my mother. You know, nepotism and hard work goes a long way.
President Trump just weighed in and called you a communist lunatic. What do you say to that?
You know, this is not the first time that President Trump is going to comment on myself.
The next mayor of New York City will have to work with the Trump administration.
New York is not time! Do you believe in the First Amendment? Do you believe in the First Amendment, tomhoman? How many more New Yorkers?
Are you willing to do that? Will you do that?
I will work with the Trump administration when it is to the benefit of New Yorkers.
New York is not time! Do you believe in the First Amendment? Do you believe in the First Amendment, tomhoman? How many more New Yorkers?
My approach will never be reflexive, whether in agreement or opposition.
New York is not time! Do you believe in the First Amendment? Do you believe in the First Amendment, tomhoman? How many more New Yorkers?
But if it comes at the expense of the New Yorkers that I'm running to serve, then no, I will not be working with the administration on harming the people that I look to represent. Because I think that New Yorkers, more than they hate a politician they disagree with, they hate a politician they can't trust.
On the subject of trust, you've adopted different speaking accents in different scenarios.
But they go to their local bodega.
Is there one that's real and one that's affected?
What I would say is, as any immigrant knows, having been born in Kampala, Uganda, and then raised in South Africa and moving here when I'm 7 years old, is there are different parts of my life.
A different topic. Since when does the Vice President have what sounds like a Southern accent?
You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. And you all helped us win in 2020, and we're going to do it again in 2024.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well,
I mean, this is...
She was talking about unions in Detroit using one tone of voice.
Is this something that
same
you think...
line.
Okay, Peter.
That she used the same line in Pittsburgh, and it sounded like she at least had some kind of a Southern drawl.
I mean, do you hear the question that you're... I mean, do you think Americans seriously think that this is an important question? They care... You know what they care about? They care about the economy. They care about lowering costs. They care about health care. That's what Americans care about.
So
that's what they want to hear.
This is something...
They care about, your colleague just asked me about, basically we talked about, went back and forth about democracy and freedom. That's what they care about. I'm not even going to entertain some question about the president. It's just, hearing it sounds so ridiculous.
Well, but hearing it is...
The question, I'm talking about the questions, is just insane.
Is that how she talks in meetings here?
I'm just... Peter, we're moving on. We're so moving on.
Worldwide tour is a worldwide tour is a worldwide tour.
Mamdani was talking about a worldwide press tour back when he was a rapper.
Bring the flavor to the fish, bring the flavor to the rice.
In a Disney movie directed by his mother.
Nepotism and hard work goes a long way.
Do you believe deploying the military to conduct law enforcement on U.S. soil is legal?
Look, we have to make certain that we protect American cities. If not for President Trump, Los Angeles would be burning right now. We had 6 ICE agents that were totally in fear of their life because local officials, an incompetent mayor, a grossly incompetent governor, refused to do their job.
Is there anything you would not find acceptable for the U.S. military to do on U.S. soil?
Look, President Trump understands what the Constitution is. He understands what the laws are. We have to protect our cities. We have to protect our ICE agents. We have to protect our federal buildings. And Gavin Newsom should maybe get off Twitter and start actually going down to L.A. and protecting his own citizens.
The courts have ruled on the Guard. They will be back under my command.
A few moments later.
Okay, why is Trump back in control of the National Guard, you guys? What the hell is going on? First I lose my pool boy Roberto, and now this? I seriously need a mani-pedi right now. A bottle of wine, cherry ice cream, and a whole season of Will and Grace. Fuck this politics thingy.
what's actually happening is they're buying voters. That's really what's happening. It's like a giant voter fraud scam. They're importing voters. It's easy to understand if you look at basic incentives. The basic incentive here is the more illegals that the Democrats can bring in, the more likely they are to win. So that's what they're going to do. That's what they have been doing, and it worked in California. California's supermajority Dem. And look at all the companies that are leaving California.
Yeah.
I mean, In-N-Out just announced they're leaving.
Yep.
Their headquarters leaving California.
They're moving to Tennessee.
A fourth day of rallies and protests on the streets of Los Angeles.
It was a peaceful rally. What is going on right now is also peaceful.
Here we are expecting rallies later on.
When they show up, we gotta show up even stronger.
In Los Angeles, there is a new crowd of protesters that has been building.
CNN had it that these were rallies. Now they've become protests. I'm afraid that by tonight they become riots. If we don't have the ability to stand up and stop this violence before it consumes a great city like Los Angeles, then there's no telling where this could spread.
Are hardworking, good people, and they're the backbone of our city, and they should have access to all the things that we have access to. And I just don't think they understand that it's a political pawn. I don't think they understand.
It's a political game.
This is not done for compassion and kindness.
No.
This is just done to ensure that it stays blue.
Correct.
Yeah, and it's essentially a bribery with your tax dollars.
Yes, this is why the Dems will not even deport criminals.
Yeah.
Because every criminal deported is a lost vote.